1,500 miles, 2,000 miles to get that kind of competition. If we put the energy and people work together, we can have that right here.
Absolutely.
It's going to take an effort. It's going to take an effort from drivers and an effort from track owners to do that. So
Absolutely.
at least I'm going to put my foot forward on the driver part.
Right
That's
on.
all I can do.
Man, that is awesome.
I can't control nobody else. I'm just going to control what I can control.
That is awesome for you and Knot Hole Market to step up and put that. Is it $5,000, correct?
That is correct. And then I also guaranteed the way the points fund's going to work, because we're going to add up on what the entry fee is. So, which I don't think that's going to be a big deal, but I'm going to, if let's just say, for instance, 12 cars shows up all year, I'm going to end up putting almost $10,000 into it. So it just depends on the car counts.
Well, I'll tell you right now, putting that $5,000 up, you're going to have more than 12 cars there. That's going to bring the guys that were looking at.
That's kind of my hope. So, I think, the $5,000 was a good start, and then we'll see where it goes. And then maybe next year, if I feel good about the way the track goes, and the way the management there goes, maybe next year I'll do $10,000, and we'll try and keep adding to that. So,
and
Dan,
that's
kind of my hope.
Dan, that this is going to probably force a couple people to come out of retirement and get back behind the wheel of a late model.
Well, and that's a point, because Dan was talking about what late models, the competition that he has to travel to get because of the car counts and the quality of the drivers meeting, in Arizona
Exactly.
or even the Bud Nationals. Now, Willamette, and Dan, you were there when Willamette was such a hotbed.
Exactly.
This is a kind of a transition period we're seeing in the Northwest, from one generation kind of making their way out to the next one stepping up, because we don't see Bob Jeffrey there. We don't see Russ Sell or, Darren Koffel still highly competitive, but you don't see Jerry York there anymore.
Exactly.
So you guys are kind of the next generation coming up.
I don't want to see the really good guys leaving so that I can win. And that, you know what I mean?
Well, absolutely.
That's the effort. That's where I'm going with that. So,
a way to lead by example.
Well, that's a big thing, to put up your own money like that to keep the cars here. And I think what you'll see that class grow simply because $5,000 is $5,000, and you're still going to lose money racing. We know that, but when you've got something going back to the drivers, they appreciate that. They see it. It's going to keep the cars there. And we talked about that earlier in the show. I don't know if you were listening then, but it makes a difference to you guys.
Yeah, and that's why I sponsored Super Sports the last 2 years, and I talked to Jerry, the owner at Lebanon, about that. I was like, you got to promote a lower class, because that'll help the upper classes, because there's bread and butter in that if you get local drivers out there. But you also need the upper class. So anyway, I'm just trying to do a balancing act between the two. So,
right. So
anyway, I'm pretty well committed in. I probably won't even drive supers that much this year. So I'm pretty much just going full late model. Mods aren't really my thing. I mean, they're kind of fun to drive, but I just don't like driving them that much. So,
did you hear the sigh?
That's where my focus is going to be.
That's okay, Dan. I'm a big late model fan.
We all are.
Yes,
we all are. But did you hear the sigh here in the Valley just now when he said he's not going to run supers that much next year? Did you hear that?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of guys that are going, yes! Yeah, Dan, you were really, really fast in that Super Sport car there at the end of the year.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
God. That was awesome. So, man, I'll tell you.
What a great thing you're doing, Dan. Thank you very much.
Yes, there's a lot of people that are excited. I know when I saw that on Facebook and they broke that news, I was almost speechless, like, wow, somebody did something. And I think somebody had to, whether it was on the track or sponsor side, doesn't matter. The fact that somebody stepped up and did it, because there was a lot of guys looking down south to Coos Bay going, $6,000. That makes a difference. Yeah. So I think that move that you put up is really going to solidify the late model class and keep it at least as strong as it was, if not stronger, and bring out some more cars.
That's what we want.
And absolutely. I think it's going to be a very good possibility. So let me ask you a question here. We're wrapping things up. We still got about 10 minutes left on the show, 8-10 minutes. But when they released the rules for the 2017 season concerning the late model class with the 604 and the 12-inch, the 525 and the 10-inch, and the Open with the 8-inch, what were you thinking? What were your thoughts on the rules package?
I was actually, all of that I was really good with. I think the spoiler rule is really good. The tire rule, I'm still, the non-grooving,
right.
I'm still kind of up in the air. And obviously, there's only one reason why I am, is, I went to Arizona with 2 cars. I blew up, 2 motors in Arizona, and I come back and I've got 18 tires grooved up on wheels sitting here at my shop. So, it's pretty hard to go through 18 tires in 4 races. So
right.
that part of it I'm not very excited about. So, anytime they change rules with tires, it's going to cost people money. It's same with the sportsman class.
Right.
They changed the tire rule on them, and it's going to cost those guys money. That's
sure.
just all there is to it.
Right.
So I'm not a big fan of tire rule change, but it is what it is. I'll just have to stomach it out and deal with it. So after 1 year, I'll be through it. Then the only bummer is after that, if I go to travel in the winter, of course, I got to go there, and then everybody's grooving their tires. So what do? Groove up a bunch of tires. You got to take them home and can't use them. That's the hard part about the tire rule that I don't like. I think it puts us in a box.
Absolutely does. And that's a valid, from a racer's point of view, that's a valid statement. I totally understand that. I think the one thing that surprised me most about that rules package was the 525. I mean, given what we've seen guys do at Willamette with the 525 and get a spoiler and a weight break, that surprised me, because those 525s are every bit as competitive as the Open engines, and that's been proven.
They're going to be good. There ain't no doubt about it. And I actually looked at, maybe even buying one, putting it in one of my cars, but it's like, I don't really. I mean, then you're kind of locked back in. I don't want to get us in a box.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to be able to take a 525 down to Arizona and compete against Moyer. I mean, that's a joke.
Right.
I took 725 horse down there, and I felt like I was driving a crate motor, for crying out loud. I mean, that's not the direction that we need to go in Oregon. That's all. I mean, they'll be fast and they'll compete, but it's, look at the bigger picture with late models in the United States, it's not the direction to go. But if it helps bring a few cars to Lebanon, I'm all for it. And then, if we start getting saturated, then obviously I'll pull my money, or we'll do something different. But at least for right now, I think it's okay. It's at least an option for guys, that don't want to spend a tremendous amount of money, that want to run late models, that don't want to travel, can come down and compete. And I'm okay with that. So,
right.
I mean, I'm all for competitive racing. So,
well, what you just said, talking about the guys that don't travel, that are going to run for a track title, dollar for dollar, the 525 is probably your best option, because of cost and dependability.
There's absolutely, I'd be shocked if a guy with a 525 doesn't actually win the championship.
And there's a good possibility that could happen.
Yep.
But then you've got those guys like, yourself. You got guys like Koffel and Maya and the duties with the big engines. I mean, you've got to beat those guys first. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, you do. And they're. I mean, there's no doubt about it. There's some really good talent out here.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it ain't like, and that's what I want. I want good talent. I want to be surrounded. I want to be showing up every week getting pushed to get faster.
Heck yeah.
That's what I did all last year, and that's where I'm at, and that's where I'm going to go. I want to be faster.
When you
that's
did
why
that,
I don't really want to go to a different track.
Right.
If I went to, Cottage Grove or Coos Bay, I'm going to win every week. Well, that ain't going to make me faster. I want to be faster. So.
Well, you're at the right track with the right competition.
Absolutely.
I mean, we saw with Brian Cronk, perfect example of a decent driver, a good driver with the 525.
Yep.
I mean, he was, how many times was he up on the front row after the races last year?
Joey Tanner, same thing.
Right.
It's crazy.
So
it is.
It's going to be interesting to see how this package plays out between the 604, the 525, and the Opens. I don't know if it's going to
It
make a huge difference. I think it'll make a little bit of a difference for those guys with the 525s.
Right.
The 604s on a 12-inch spoiler, I don't know how much that's going to...
I think it's actually good. The only thing I would say, at the end of the year, we'll have to look at the 525s. I mean, if they're going to give them the extra spoiler, I think they ought to run the same weight rule as us.
Right.
You know, they shouldn't get that extra 100 pounds.
The 100
and
pounds
I think
is...
that would balance them out, the killer.
Yeah.
You know, especially when you're getting 100 pounds off the nose of your car, plus the spoiler in the back. So, I mean, the weight transfer you're getting there, you know, with an all-aluminum motor in the front, with a big spoiler in the back, I mean, that's huge. You know, but it's only going to work in Oregon. I mean, if you go traveling around and go try and compete with anybody that's good, you're going to get your butt handed to you.
Yep.
In most cases, yeah, that's
So,
absolutely
anyway.
true. Absolutely. I agree with you on a lot of that.
Anyway, that's why I'm just like, I'm kind of in the fence with it, but I mean, it ain't like I'm opposed to it either. I mean, if they can compete, if we can go out there with our big open motors and compete against them, and it's good racing, I'm all for it.
Right,
You know, at the end of the day, I just want good racing. So
don't we all?
Well,
Spoken like a true driver.
absolutely. I think that you've spurred everything in the right direction right there. Before we get off the air, I wanted to talk to you. I know there's 5,000. Now, is that going to be to the champion, or how are they breaking it down through the field? What's the plan with that, or do you have any knowledge on that?
Jerry gets back, he's going to work that up, because the way it went was I put $5,000 up, Jerry put 25, so he matched me half. So there was 75 right there.
Mm-hmm.
And we're upping our entry fees up, and the rest of that money gets kind of divvied out, and we haven't got a full breakdown. Actually, once we get a full breakdown, the upper might be $6,000. I don't know, but we're basically guaranteeing. I think it come out to like $22,000 in the points championship. So, you know, we'll get the breakdown, and he'll post that online, and you know, pay it back to 12 spots. So we'll just see how it goes.
Cool.
He's going to present it to me, and then I'm going to okay it, and then it'll get posted. So
That's exciting.
it should be out within a week.
Good deal.
Very cool. Let's keep us posted on that, Dan, and we'll share that on Moxie as well, and see if we can't, draw a little more interest for you guys.
Thank you, buddy.
My hat's off to you, Dan. It's a pretty cool thing you're stepping up and doing there. My hat's off.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, I guess I'll see you in a few weeks.
All right, Dan.
Take
care, Dan.
Hopefully we'll see you at the
see
car
you.
show.
Yeah.
What's that?
Hopefully we'll see you at the car show.
No, I'm not going to go to the car show.
Oh, man.
All right, bud. We appreciate your time. Thanks, and we will see you at the races pretty soon.
Sounds good, buddy.
All right, take
Take care.
Thanks, Dan.
Man, how cool is that for Dan and the Not Whole Market?
Oh, I thought you could put him on the spot and get him to the car show, but he just flat out said, no,
yeah,
I'm not
well,
gonna be there.
that's Dan, though.
Yeah,
You're,
straight up.
That is Dan Dybel right there. If there's
I
an
love him.
answer, there's not going to be any fluff to it. You're going to get, this is what the answer is.
Yep.
That's
Straight
one
shooter.
thing that I've learned to appreciate about Dan at the racetrack when we talk with him, and he's just this is what it is. Straight shooter and
Stand-up guy.
Absolutely. So,
For him to
A
pony
lot of stand-up people in our community.
there really is, and
really
those are the
is.
people I think we appreciate most, because like what we try to do here is when we're on the air, we're trying to bring just the facts. We want to get to the bottom line. We want to kill rumors. We want to keep the news fresh, and we want to keep it straight on point.
Yep.
And it's guys like Dan that make that easy to do.
Yeah, let them do the
Absolutely.
talking.
Yeah, no kidding. So it's been a good show. I mean, we've had a lot to talk about. Again, there's still some spots available for the 2017 Northwest Race Car Show presented by Jetstream Auto Massage and Moxie Media.
And the dates are?
Dates are, we're going to load cars Friday night, March 25th after 9 o'clock.
Right.
So if your car isn't done at 6 o'clock on the 24th and you can get it here just past 9 o'clock, we'll still get you in. Raffle prizes, money raised is going to the Shriners. Some pretty cool raffle prizes already donated, and if you would like to donate a raffle prize to help raise money for that cause, we'll take it. Whatever we can do to help out the Shriners this year. And like last year, we helped out the safety crews from Sunset and Willamette Speedway. This year, we want to help out. We want to help out the kids.
Yep, absolutely.
And if people want to donate prizes, they can drop them off here at Jetstream Auto Massage.
Absolutely. They can bring it the day of if we have to, and we'll make a box for tickets. We'll do what we have to do, but we'd like to have those early so we can promote those